If you can believe it, the modern dating market has some pretty wacky expectations. A lot of research and surveys have also shown the same result. The truth about height is that it absolutely is a factor in how women choose their partners. You saw the videos? You saw these women and their preferences. This is called a height pill. It's pretty harsh, especially for the short guys out there. But if you're a man and you're below 5'9", your chances of biting a hot girl are pretty low in the dating market right now. So, men are the ones who showcase themselves as potential mates by the value they provide and their status. So men are out there showcasing their genetic potential, and women pick the men they want from the poor. Why is this important? Because many men have developed a desire for women's preferences in today's world. Whenever a woman comes in and says she wants a guy over 6 feet, the short guys just lose it. Even in these TikToks, you'll see a lot of men cringe. Men don't get to choose. She has complete freedom of selection. It's not just happening on TikTok or Tinder. It's been going on since the beginning of time that women got to choose the men they want. Trying to change the dynamic by claiming that these women are toxic and that no one would ever date them as a waste of space is pointless, because women will continue to have these insane preferences. And the worst thing is that TikTok is amplifying these standards. According to a survey conducted on both men and women, the majority of women prefer men who are between the tall of 5 feet 5 inches to 10 inches. When a man's height reaches 6 feet, he has reached the sweet spot where there are very few rejections and women would love to date a man of his height. The lower a man's height is, even by a few inches, the less likely he is to get a date with a woman. The moment a man reaches 6 feet, he has reached the golden spot. It's game over for men now that they've reached the average height for girls. The worst part about this situation is that many men are still not ready to accept everything that they give. There are examples of men who dated attractive women despite their height, but that's beside the point. Exceptions don't prove a rule. And yeah, maybe some women don't care about height that much, but for the majority of women, for the average woman, and for the average man who's trying to talk to women in a nightclub, it's very true. There are also countless stories on Reddit about guys who went into clubs with their tall friends, and girls respond differently, or the guy they're talking to is tall. That's because women respond to masculine traits and behavior, no matter what the world says. They want to feel small and feminine. And they respond differently to a tall, strong man. He just has a different vibe to him. The same is not true for men who aren't a lot taller than the women, so these guys don't have a lot of success with it. It's almost a biological thing, where the tall man hijacks a woman by show of height. I just demonstrated to you guys that women are willing to overlook some of the most undesirable aspects of men if they are tall and muscular. They were the most narcissistic and arrogant guys I had ever met. They were the types of guys you wouldn't want in your circle. Yet these guys have the most success with women. I have known many men like these who were tall, but lacked any sort of personality. There would be all of these women just dying over a guy like this and chasing him, because height is just such a powerful thing for men, and tall guys don't realize how different the dynamics of attraction are for them. Short guys see it, but most develop coping mechanisms for it, because accepting reality is very difficult. That being said, there are also a few words to be said for the high standards that women used to have. They used to have this holy trinity of 6 figures, 6 inches, and 6 feet tall. Only what began as standards and preferences for women has delved into these crazy criteria. It's almost like a robotic computerized test and not a human decision. At this point, a single number can make them change their entire outlook on a man. I can't tell you how many guys have passed up as 6 feet, or they were 5'10" and 5'9". This crazy criteria began as standards and preferences for women and has delved into this crazy criteria. I can't tell you how many guys have passed up at 6 feet, or they are not even joking when I say that I knew this girl who was flirting with my friend, and when she asked how tall he was, she probably thought he was 6 feet or something, and my friend said that he was 5 feet 10 inches, but he's 5 feet 11 inches right now in shoes, and she suddenly became distant. Sure, men have preferences as well, but new information doesn't suddenly turn us off. If we like a girl, information about her breast size will not suddenly mean that we aren't. Humans don't function that way, but apparently women do, because they can turn a preference into an obsession with ease. I'm not going to deny or sugarcoat the fact that height is an important physical attribute for men. However, the surest way to fail in life as a short man is to fixate on your height as a problem. You cannot change your height, so focusing on it to such an extreme and being insecure about it is where the Napoleon complex or the small man syndrome comes from. Nothing is worse than a man who is weak or insecure about something he cannot change. Recently, there was a post on redpill that argued that if you are under 5 or 7, you should invest in lifts because being short is disastrous for your life, and you will need to fix it or you won't succeed. In my opinion, this is terrible advice for those men who are short. As I stated previously, I agree that being short probably places you at a disadvantage in life, but tempting as it. As a shorter man, it will take you less time to build muscles and look good than someone who is tall. Simply put, they will need 40 pounds of muscle to look the same as if you put on about 20 orbs. In addition, your attitude and dress can go a long way. So get after it, kings. I do suggest that if you are short, it is almost mandatory to work out and wear decent clothes.